Chapter 35. Emma. I wake up feeling sore and lonely in my bed. It's still early, but we have the venue for a limited time, and we need to clean up, so I drag myself out of bed and get ready. There's no sign of Knightley. I stand outside his door and listen for a while before I knock. A growl lets me know he's awake. I knock again, and he opens the door. His hair is ruffled, and he's squinting at the light. But as his eyes focus on me, he smiles and I feel my insides shred. "Good morning," he says. I have to get to the venue. I keep my eyes on his face. There is no time for distractions. I'm about to remind him to get the sound system when he holds up a finger and yawns. 1 minute. He closes the door and I blink. Half a minute later, he emerges again in jeans and a hoodie. I'm ready. "I didn't mean you have to come now. I just wanted to remind you about the sound system." He grabs the keys from the bowl, then looks at me. "You should drive. I need a minute to wake up." He hands me the keys and I pull on my shoes. As we walk to the car, he places a hand on my back. As if it's the most natural thing in the world. I hold my breath as he gently steers me to the driver's side. He makes sure I get in first, and as I adjust the seat, he walks around and gets in the passenger's side. I take a moment to familiarize myself with the car. It drives so smoothly it's almost like flying. I love it. Steeling myself, I clear my throat. "So, is that something we do now?" I ask, eyes on the road. Even without looking, I can tell he's tensing up. "If you want to." I dare a glance at him. His face is unreadable. "You didn't like it." He laughs, a deep sound that burrows into my spine. He places his hand on my leg and gives it a squeeze. It's enough to make me want more. "Princess, I liked it." The nickname makes me blush. I liked it too. But I'm not. I bite my lip. "I don't know. We probably..." He pulls his hand back. "We don't need labels. It is what it is." "Yes. No labels. And? Do you think we could keep it quiet?" I look over at him. I don't know if I want Noah to know. He nods, but doesn't look at me. "We'll keep it quiet." As we approach the venue, I look for a parking spot. "You can just stop here," he points to a spot out front. "I have some work things I need to deal with. But I'll be back in an hour or so." "Okay." I leave the car running, and he gets out to take my seat. "You have your phone?" I check my pocket. "Yes." "Good. Call me if there's any issue." "Sure." I'm a bit confused by a lot of things as he drives away. I could have driven myself. In fact, I know he hates when others drive his car. No's bitched about it plenty of times. And he still let me drive. And telling me to call him. What was that about? I shake my head. Maybe he's still half asleep. I head inside and find Hannah's already there with Freya, Sam, and Teresa. Even Avery has been roped into helping. It doesn't look too bad, but we still have a lot to do, so we don't have to pay the cleaning fee. I'm a bit surprised when Frank shows up a few minutes later. "What are you doing here?" "I heard there was an after-party," he grins. I smile. "Sure, why don't you help stack some chairs? It's the new rave." He gives me a mock salute and actually starts helping. I stare for a while, then get back to work taking down some posters about the charity. I'm walking towards the stage to put them away when Hannah screams. I look up just in time to see her stumble and fall off a ladder. Stifling a scream, I can only watch as Frank spins around and catches her. "Hannah." I run over to her, posters on the floor. "Hannah, are you okay?" Frank is still holding her. "I'm okay," she smiles up at him and steps away. More people gather around us, asking what happened. "I lost my balance," she says sheepishly. "It's because you didn't sleep," Avery cuts in and takes Hannah's hand. "I told you to take it easy." "You didn't sleep?" I ask, worried. "I did, But after you left, some guy got me and Avery drinks and it had an energy drink as a mixer. I don't do well on energy drinks, so it took me a while to fall asleep. You shouldn't take drinks from strangers, Frank says. Especially if you don't know what's in them. It wasn't a stranger, Avery says quickly and a bit sternly. Just maybe don't go on any ladders again, I quickly cut in. Let someone else do that. Hannah nods. Her face is red, and I realize she probably hates the attention. Come on, everyone. Let's get back to work. The crowd disperses after patting Frank on the back and saying how lucky she was that he was there to catch her. Hello, everyone, a voice sounds out and I roll my eyes. Gwen and Edwin come sauntering in with coffees in their hands. I pick up the posters I dropped and put them in the box. There are plenty of things to do, mostly things that need to be put away and packed up. So I do my best to avoid Gwen and Edwin and carry boxes out to the car we rented for the purpose. It's a while later, and I'm starting to wonder when Knightley will be back. I spot a box on the stage and head for it as I check my phone. As I'm putting my phone away, there's movement next to me on the stage. I glance up and blink. Before I can move, a stack of chairs is falling over me. I raise an arm as they crash into me, knocking me to the floor. I land on my side with my left arm raised to keep the chairs off me. Someone yells and I open my eyes. The room is spinning. I force air into my lungs as the pressure from the chairs eases. Urging the room to stop spinning, I look up at the worried faces. Sam is lifting a chair off my head, while Freya is bracing against most of the stack that landed on me. With the help of Avery and Hannah, she gets the chairs off to one side. Emma, Hannah sits down in front of me. Emma, are you okay? I move my arm and make to get up. My shoulder hurts, and I'm pretty sure I have a few bruises on my hip and arms. And my head hurts. Oh God, Gwen yells from the stage, her voice piercing the air. Oh my God, we need an ambulance. Someone get a phone. I'm fine, I say and sit up. There's no need for an ambulance. You're bleeding, Hannah says and points to my head. I touch the sore spot gingerly, and my fingers come away with blood on them. Get the first aid kit, Freya tells Sam. From the car. I'm really fine, I insist and try to get up, but Hannah stops me with a hand to my shoulder. Just sit for a while. I grumble, but do as she says. How did this happen? Avery asks, as Sam comes running back with the medical supplies. The chairs must have been too close to the edge, someone says. Hannah takes the first aid kit from Sam and finds a disinfectant wipe. She gently pats my wound, and I grimace at the stinging. It's not bleeding too badly, she says in a low voice as the others continue their chatter. She finds a Band-Aid. It's along your hairline. I'll try to not get your hair, but I'm not sure that's possible. It's fine, I say and pull my hair back to help her. There. She smiles at me. Good as new. Is the rest of you okay? I think so. I'm sure I'm going to have some bruises, but it's not too bad. It's a good thing we got all that insurance, Teresa says dryly. One more incident, and we might get some use out of it. Let's hope not, Freya says. I told her to move the chairs, Ben says suddenly. I hadn't even known he was there. Teresa's boyfriend would make an excellent spy. It's almost impossible to notice him. Who? Frank asks. Her, he points to Gwen. I told her the chairs were too close to the edge. It's not my fault, Gwen protests. Someone should have helped me. Yeah, Edwin steps up next to his fiancée. You can't expect her to do everything. It's fine. I get to my feet, and only wobble a little. We're lucky it wasn't worse. Let's just get the cleanup done so we don't have to stay here all day. Maybe you should go sit down for a bit, Hannah says and puts a hand on my elbow. I nod. Yeah, I think I will. I take aim for the entrance and walk on shaky legs. My hands are shaking as well. I know it's just the adrenaline leaving my body, but I could really use a moment to just breathe. In the foyer, I make it to the couch and slump down on it. I take deep breaths, and wait until I'm no longer shaking and my heart is beating at a normal pace. Once I feel back to normal, I get up. I told you I'd be back. A warm tingle moves down my spine, and I smile as I turn to Knightley. He's holding 2 mugs. As soon as he sees me, his face drains. What happened? I raise a hand and touch the area around the band-aid. I'm fairly certain a bruise is forming. It's nothing. It probably looks worse than it feels. With frightening stillness, he turns and places the mugs on a table. He steps closer and puts his hands on my upper arms. What happened? He growls, but his hands are gentle and his thumbs stroke my arms. He looks ready to fight. I got attacked by a stack of chairs. But really, I'm fine. You're not fine, you're bruised. He raises a hand and ever so gently brushes my hair away from the bruise. His hand stills and he locks eyes with me. Are you hurt anywhere else? I shrug. I think I have some bruises here and there. Do you want to go home? I shake my head. No, there's still work to do here, and you need to sort out the sound system. Are you sure? Because fuck the sound system. If you want to go home, I'll take you home. I can't help but smile and place a hand on his cheek. I want to stay and help the others. He grunts in approval, and I pull away from him. Please tell me that's coffee. I gesture to the mugs. He hands me one. It's a hazelnut latte. I thought you might like that. Oh, nice. I take a sip and let the drink warm me up from the inside. I enjoy trying different coffees, and hazelnut is one of my favorites. For the rest of the day, I can feel Knightley's eyes on me wherever I go. It's a miracle he gets anything done at all.